while Card got taken. Meanwhile, Kia in 2043 felt uneasy. Seeing giant shorts everywhere, she couldn't believe her location. This place looks way too unscientific. It doesn't even seem like a research facility. When Kia opened the door, she was greeted by a bunch of strange men. After chatting with them, the guy didn't even recognize himself. Kia thought the timeline must have gone haywire. He clearly wandered into the wrong era. His best buddy looked super confused, thinking to himself that Kia had long left the building. You can imagine the shock. He buried Kia himself. The scene short-circuited his brain. To clarify, he decided to try the time travel machine. With a flicker of light, he was back in the mall. Based on his calculations, he and Little Card were supposed to enter the lab tonight, so he found his boyfriend, Adam. They waited at the designated spot, ready to kick off the narrative mode, but Kia could never have dreamed that his time travel had something to do with Adam's water gun. What a bummer. The original plan went down the drain, but Kia managed to remember that car's license plate amid the chaos. Cut to Little Card. An exquisitely dressed woman appeared before her. The guy next to her was force-feeding her some weird liquid. Then, the woman started talking in a hypnotic tone, causing bizarre images to float in Little Card's mind. If time could be traversed at will, then would there exist a clone of you in every timeline? That's utterly and completely bonkers. This mysterious organization called the 12 Monkeys finally got acquainted with Kira after quite a twist. In the future, Little Card became a leading figure in resisting the virus outbreak. This is way more complicated than I thought. Under their control, Little Card gradually lost her spirit, while Kira and Adam were running around like crazy trying to save her. They identified a warehouse through the license plate, cleverly bypassed the guards to infiltrate, and discovered Little Card in the process of frantically evading capture. Kira quickly took out a guard with a shot from behind, but the odds were stacked against them. She decided it was best for Adam and the others to leave first, while she covered their escape. If Little Card dies, that's going to be a huge mess for the future. Just as she took down the last guard, she got yanked back to 2043. Talk about history pulling a prank. Other side effects of time travel were getting clear. The joy in her heart couldn't be hidden. But if nothing changed, it meant the virus was still around. In 2015, a plant called Troy was born, intending to use the virus against the leader of a mysterious organization named Viston. The character drawn from him was based on Snowden from the US Complan, but they had no clue about the bigger conspiracy behind. To them, everything that happened before was merely history, without any secrets. Q spilled the beans to Little Card and Adam, telling them to gather all the dirt on Troy. Then she vanished from this site like a mirage. What a surreal experience. Just 2 hours later, Little Card got a mysterious call. It was Kira's voice. Kira claimed she got the virus and was hiding from pursuers. Little Card was left completely confused. He hadn't even provided Kira any info, and she wandered off to wreck the Troy plan. After returning to 2043, Kira got busy with 2015 and ultimately sniped the pathogen from the 12 Monkeys. She seized the opportunity, but found everything had already concluded. She needed to prevent it all beforehand. Kira mentioned wanting to go to Florida, leaving Little Card utterly puzzled by the suggestion. After snagging the virus, Kira was immediately pursued by Visson and taken to their headquarters. Upon meeting Visson, she urgently warned that the box contained the virus and not to open it, or else the world would face doom. Everyone would be killed in 2 to 3 hours. It was too late. A desperate sales pitch. Meanwhile, thousands of miles away, Little Card received a call from Kira urging to bomb the place, or all previous efforts would be for a week later. Kira finally arrived, collecting all the Troy information, but clueless that the plan had already wrapped up. Kira felt super distressed at that moment and asked, if everything ends, where do you want to go? Only to realize she had already asked this before. Everything was just a loop. As the scene shifted back to Kira, she realized she hadn't actually died. This meant the human disaster wasn't under effective control. This guy had stayed for just 1 day. But the moment he stepped out, he discovered that the world had turned upside down completely. What in the world had actually happened? A truck full of corpses passed by ruthlessly, while passers-by wore masks, an astonishing sight indeed. This made Kira realize she had failed to stop the virus spread, and humanity had reached the brink of life and death. Looking at Little Card on the screen, she knew the weight of pressure she was under. All checkpoints on the street were strictly controlled by soldiers. A woman struggled through the crowd only to be shot by the guards. Only those carrying the antibody were allowed to pass. Keir had the antibody herself, and the marks on her arm caught the guard's attention. An officer approached her, saying he would take her to meet someone but wouldn't disclose who that was. What Keir saw here was nothing but ruins, with history's footprints leading to the abyss. As she walked down the hallway into the lab, she unexpectedly found little Card waiting for her. Through conversation, they learned Card came in person but hadn't seen Keir. Yet in 2017, they met again, making Keir suspect that she accidentally travelled through time then.